Boom! Yo, what's up? Boom! Yo, check it out. The obstacle is the path. What is the obstacle? What is your biggest obstacle? What are we doing here, man? You know, you ever think about that? How do you matter? How do you contribute? How do you do any of it? The obstacle is the path, you know what I'm saying? So when you sit here and you look at your life, you look at making valuable contributions, you look at, for me, gaining my manhood in a way that no one can challenge or take it away from me. You know, when you look at all these things you must do in life, you know, people think you don't need to figure out what your purpose is, but I think the reality is simply that the amount of inner psychic pressure you endure, the amount of not knowing whether you can, not knowing whether you're good enough, not knowing why you're here on the planet, not knowing what to do, when to do it. Like, when you have purpose, it adds gravity, it adds boundaries, it adds a point to what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, hey, so purpose is, it's almost everything, you know, and it touches everything. It bleeds into everything. But before purpose, how do you even have any value in this game we play called life? I believe that comes from contribution. Your purpose is just centered around your contribution, right? So I sit here and I start to think like, okay, young man, young woman, how do you do these things? You know, how do you matter? And I'm here to postulate, to hypothesize, to present to you, to submit to you the argument of the principle that the obstacle is the path. And the obstacle is the only obstacle that's worth your time. The only obstacle that really matters. And that obstacle is you. That's it. You can't go over it. You can't go around it. You can't go under it. The only way to get to what you need is to go through you. That's it. That's the entire game. And the path is learning how to perfect yourself, learning how to become better, learning how to become more, learning how to become stronger, all through the work you do on yourself. What your partner's doing, well, your partner's a whole other thing. What the people around you are doing will almost entirely disappear. The significance, the insignificant minutia that so many of us consume ourselves with will disappear once you begin fighting the most righteous battle of your life, which is the battle against weaker versions of yourself. This is the most gratifying, the most validating, the most internally nourishing, and yea, dare I say, one of the most righteous fights you can fight during your time on this planet. The obstacle is the path, said the ancient Stoics, and the only real obstacle is you. And that's the game. That's why we must go to the gym and destroy weaker versions of ourselves every single day. In my life, and the principle that I have been living by that has taught me so much about life and about progress and about value and meaning. A principle that's so near and dear to my heart is fear. I know that I'm not on the path if I'm not afraid. If I'm not looking at my life and I'm not like, dude, what are you doing right now? Like, this might not work. You might fail. You might die. Part of your ego might die, you know, like, if I'm not doing that, then I'm not on the path. Like, if I'm literally okay with everything I'm doing, I'm not on the path. Like, I just know I'm lollygagging. Like, I know I'm shubba-flubbaing around. You know what I mean? Like, I just know, like, homie, okay, maybe you're tired. Okay. Which no one cares, by the way, work harder. But maybe, you know what, maybe you're tired, you need some rest. Take a little bit of rest, and then you go get back out there where the fear is. Because where the fear is where the growth is. And where the growth is, that's where the progress is. And this life is driven by progress. You have options. You can either grow or go. Everything's moving towards entropy. Like, everything is like dying. You know, like all of this is our one shot at Godship. This is our one shot at like becoming someone that matters. This is our one chance to create a life that's meaningful. You have Godship and Lordship over your life. There is nothing that can stop you from what you choose. And that's just it. That's this entire game. And once you realize that, you start cooking with tartar sauce. So I sit here and I watch people feel powerless. I watch people feel like they need to, they're looking for power and they're looking for these answers and they're looking outside of themselves. And I'm like, yo, you need to look inside yourself and you need to make higher quality decisions. I know it's hard. You need to do it hard. You want a higher quality life? You've got to make higher quality decisions. If you want to make higher quality decisions, you've got to get higher quality information. And because you've been given ownership and lordship over your life, no one's going to be able to do it for you. And the more often you can go and find fear, you can go and fight fear, the more progress you will make. If you want to do something for yourself today, that is going to be more valuable than anything else you do today. It's going to simply be figure out the thing you've been procrastinating, catastrophizing, and have been afraid to do, and the thing you have all these really good reasons of why it won't work, because technically if I do this, then this could happen, and if this happens, it probably won't work. All the things, the great ideas, the visions, the goals, the things that you have that you've been coming up with, safe problems to keep you in your safe space, safe problems in order to not do, and go do it. Don't execute the full movement, like maybe it's skydiving, maybe it's creating that coffee shop you want to create. That's not the point. Start doing something on that path. Start facing those fears. This, I'll close with this, is so much less about what you get. It's not about whether or not you get the coffee shop and you actually create the business. It's about who you become on the way to creating that. Because the power you gain from learning how to fish, learning how to farm, from learning how to face your fears is power you need to take your life to the next level in your most righteous endeavor of becoming who you're supposed to be. The reality of the game is, in our current states, we're not mature enough, intelligent enough, and we don't have the perspective to see enough of our lives and our potential and all the different things that we will grow and learn and mature into on our path. We aren't even mature enough to see that from the beginning, so we don't even know what our actual destiny is. We just know what the present purpose in front of us is. And if you're diligent and faithful enough to take action on that present purpose, you evolve through the action of trying to fight and grow and become strong enough to do that. And as you evolve, you gain more perspective and you gain more skill and you gain more strength, and you're actually capable of acquiring different results. And then your perspective will change again, and your perspective will change again. And then, like 5-10 years of doing this, you may not have even really ever achieved any of your purposes necessarily, but you've been on this path of progress and progressive growing and transcendence and self-evolution, to where now you actually can say, like, man, really what would really, the accumulation of these battles and these dragon heads and wolves that you've killed, and I've killed the lion, I've killed the tiger, I've killed the bear, I'm going to kill this Philistine, the accumulation of all that, then you have earned the right to have some idea of what your purpose is. Because I can promise you right now, if God showed you your purpose, or if you saw your purpose, or whatever, how you want to say it, without the journey, you wouldn't even be able to appreciate it. You would probably think it was one of the stupidest and worst ideas you've ever heard. You would laugh me out of house, and you would laugh at it. You would be like, that's dumb. Or you'd be like, I can't do that, straight up. And the thing is, you don't know you can do it, or if you can do it or not. You don't know. You have no idea, because you haven't even fought to the first spot on the block. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't even begun to fight the war that is acquiring purpose. But that's one battle by battle. And this is the game. And I only make these videos because I love you guys. And because I'm on the same path. Fighting towards fear. Finding fear. Facing fear. In order to find purpose and arrive at destiny. Yo, if you stay with me this long, I love you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Visit me at ByronRodgers.com. That's Rodgers with a D. And listen to my podcast. All right, y'all. Talk to you. See you on the next video. Out. Boom.